All right. I think Anjana, this is. I think we have enough people in the webinar at this point. I think we should start, right?
Yes, Anshul, we can start.
All right. Hello everyone. Greetings from the Solution Consulting. My name is Anshul. I head marketing for the organization, and a very warm welcome to all of you to our TSE ERP Readiness webinar on Autonomous ERP with Microsoft Copilot Studio and Agents. Uh, Before we move on to the agenda of the webinar, I just wanted to highlight one thing that from last couple of years, we have taken up one goal to build a community of organization to educate them across everything and anything under Microsoft technologies. For that, from last 2 years, we have done almost 15 sessions across different business applications. Across different industry solutions that we have developed under Microsoft Dynamics, be it a Pharma 365, PWall 360 real estate management solution, core business applications modules such as finance, supply chain, project operations. We have done one webinar on Copilot as well. And every year we keep on doing an overall webinar, which gives an overall update on what has been happening in under Microsoft technologies, specifically in Dynamics 365 space and associated applications as well. At the moment, we have built a community of 2,000 plus organizations across more than 3,500 professionals who have joined and learned from us, and they have subscribed to us for our future webinars, knowledge sessions as well. In case you want to watch all these webinars, all these sessions that we have done, all of them are uploaded on our website. We have a section called as TSC Video Library, where we have put all the recordings of all these sessions. So, Anjana, I think will be able to put that in the chat section, the link of it, and you guys can access our video library and all these sessions. All right. Uh, just want to elaborate what we are going to cover today, what you can expect out of this session. Uh, Very briefly, in just 5 to 10 minutes, I would like to introduce the solution consulting, because I know there are a lot of people who already know TSE, but there are still quite a number who are joining us for the first time, and we would want them to understand our background, our capability, expertise, experience in Microsoft domain. Then we will go and discuss about, and we are going to set the premise and the base of the webinar by discussing Agentic AI and how it is redefining business applications, how it has transformed from generative AI to Agentic AI, and how it is transforming the overall enterprise operations. Then we will discuss what are autonomous ERPs and how they will be the future of enterprise systems, and why they matter, what they are, and what value they can deliver. Then we will discuss uh, under Microsoft Dynamics 365 what it its autonomous ERP capabilities, different business applications, how agentic AI can be involved under business applications under different business modules, and overall autonomous ERP capabilities will be able to present. Uh, then we will go to the core of this webinar. We will discuss Microsoft Copilot, Copilot Studio, and agents. We may not be able to give you a complete deep dive, because in 1.5 hour session, that won't be enough to do that. But practical use cases, some of the key functionalities, and we will be able to touch upon and will give you a flavor of what is the overall capability of Copilot. Then we will discuss we can use Microsoft Copilot AI capabilities to transform your ERP into an autonomous ERP. And then lastly, we will present you one case study, a study that we have done for one of large UAE conglomerate, where we have transformed their ERP into an autonomous ERP. We will share some of the success anecdotes. It's a very big study that we have done, but we would be able to share 3, 4 successful anecdotes of around that study, and we'll be able to give you some insights out of it as well. And then we will open up for question and answer, where you guys can ask directly to our consultants questions, and they'll be available to answer your questions as well. I forgot to mention that in this webinar, we have with us our co-founder and principal consultant of the organization, Mr. Sajir Abdulaziz, who will be taking through first three topics, and then the next topic will be taken up by Mr. Venkatesh Yelampelli. He's our senior functional consultant and a certified expert in Microsoft Copilot. And then we have the case study. It'll be presented by one of our senior functional consultant who worked on this study, Mr. Dilip Kadavarat. Uh, so I'll just quickly introduce the Solution Consulting. Our company name is the Solution Consulting. In terms of the services that we offer end-to-end IT consultation, project implementation, any kind of third-party integration, customization that you want on top of Microsoft Dynamics. We also provide support and maintenance services as well. We have an analytics arm that completely takes care of your reporting and dashboarding. We also provide Dynamics 365 resources that can be augmented to your team, and they'll be dedicated resources for your project only. In terms of offered solutions, anything and everything under Microsoft Dynamics 365 umbrella, all the business applications, data and intelligence, Power Platforms, Business Central, Microsoft Copilot, everything we have enough deep capability and expertise, and we'll be able to help you out with. A little bit about our credentials. We started as a gold partner in 2016 with only 10 people, and now we have grown to a 150 member team. We have become a solutions partner and got certified across business applications, data and AI infrastructure, and digital and app innovation. It requires multiple checks with Microsoft to maintain this kind of a certification. In terms of our presence, we are available. We have an headquarter office in Dubai in UAE, and we have a sales and marketing office in KSA, and we have one delivery center in India as well. In terms of the projects that we have delivered projects across all the GCC countries, couple of African countries, couple of European countries, and a couple of Southeast Asia countries as well. In terms of team strength, that actually differentiates us across the overall partner ecosystem. We have 150 plus dedicated Microsoft Dynamics 365 consultants across FNO, Business Central, and CRM. We are amongst the top partners in UAE based on this kind of team strength, specifically for Dynamics 365. What makes us unique, what makes us stand out in the overall partner ecosystem is that the diversity that we have of consultants across different uh, number of years of experience, and the kind of capability across different modules, across supply chain, finance, commerce and HR, project operations, all the CRM suite of CRM solutions, data and analytics solutions, Business Central. We have enough deep capability so that we can cater any kind of complex project under Microsoft Dynamics 365. This slide represents our overall experience in the projects that we have delivered. We have delivered probably more than 110 plus projects, because this number probably was earlier, was at the starting of the year. Probably we have delivered more than 120 plus projects at the moment, 80 plus full implementations across FNO and Business Central, 10 plus CRM projects. And if you see, we have covered almost all major industries. We have very big names to share with you across. We have many success stories across these all different industries, be it retail, trading, real estate, construction, some of the niche industries such as education as well. Something that differentiates us, a USP for us, is that all the projects that we have done in last 8 years have been 100% successful, and in ERP market where probably 50-60% of the implementations are not 100% successful, we are proud to say that we are 100%. We have 100% success rate. Not a single client uh, we have that where we have an implementation failed. So this is a tag that we would like to take us throughout, and we are proud to have a 100% success rate across all the projects. So not just a Microsoft Dynamics implementation partner, but we have built a lot of solutions on top of Microsoft Dynamics. We have built 10 ISV solutions across different functions, across different industries, uh, across different modules like real estate management solution, payroll solution, treasury management, pharma insurance claim management, advanced budgeting, contract management, trade rebates solution, production cost simulator, investment management solution, and a connect in marketing application as well. All of these solutions are have been acknowledged by Microsoft, and they have been published and listed on Microsoft App Source as well. We will be able to put the link of our App Source. All the application this link of Microsoft App Source where you can find all of our applications as well. Very quickly, this is our overall senior management team, our co-founders, Mr. Sajid Abdulaziz and Mr. Sobichan Joseph. They've been in this market from last uh, 2 decades. They have been working under Microsoft technologies from last 2 decades. So enough experience, expertise across Microsoft technologies, all the practice heads that we have. They also have an average experience of 16 to 18 years, and they have very high expertise in different industry, different modules. Uh, with the senior management, the project managers that we have, they also have an overall experience of 12 to 14 years. And this is our overall senior management team. Before we go and discuss the core of this webinar, I would just like to run a quick poll just to understand our audience and the kind of ERP solutions that they are using currently. It will give a sense to our presenters that how many people are using actually Microsoft Dynamics and how many people are using any other ERP solution. So Anjana, can you please run the poll?
Yes, Anshul, I've launched the poll. I request everyone to please respond to it.
I would request everybody to answer the poll because it would help us segment our audience today to understand which particular ERP they are using, and it will help our presenters understand how deep and how deep they can go into different technologies discussion. It will help them to curate their presentation as well. We have received 55 responses, 56 responses, and um, still people, we have around 90 people in the webinar. I would request all of you to please put your response on the poll. So at the moment, Sajid, we have 61% of the overall audience are using some version of Dynamics, 16% for SAP, 10% for Oracle, and all 13% for other ERPs. So Sajid, I'll hand over it to
Yeah,
you.
that's fine. I'm sure we can move on. Yeah.
Sure. So I'll hand over to you. You can start presenting.
Am I visible, Anshul?
Yes, your screen is visible, Sajid.
So, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks a lot for coming forward for this webinar. And we would like to invite you to know about the new transformation that Microsoft is bringing and pioneering into the era of BISAPs. We call it as Agentic AI. The Agentic AI related experience, which is going to transform the way BISAPS is going to engage into the market, and obviously that will be a major change which is going to happen in near come, or it's almost in market. So, but the adoption rate as well is going to get it increased very heavily. So every business owner or the leader inside the business is very clear about by saying like that they need to adopt the AI capabilities in different forms, not in form of today ChatGPT or anything, but it should be able to interact with the business data with much more insightful manner, and that will help them to drive the decision making, and they should be able to take it forward from there in a sense, not in form of taking reporting, but in form of taking the business decisions in a much more agile and adaptive economic front that's happening today. So the workforce shortage, the changing the customer needs and everything, they need to take decisions real time. And how this new AI capability with Microsoft is going to help the customers, that's what which we are discussing over the webinar today. So the CFO role, obviously the C-level role is changing heavily, and they should be leading this transformation. And they have to ensure like that the organization is probably would have started incremental steps in terms of they're telling nothing on display. Anshul, can you verify?
Sajid, it's
And
visible for me.
okay, fine. Yeah. So the real-time visibility of financial data, that's not obviously the role of CFO is to adopt the tech. It's like that the computerization or the digitalization coming into this world. Now today the AI is coming, and that's obviously is going to transform the way the BISAPs or the people who are getting involved, who are taking decision, and that's how things are happening. So how Microsoft Dynamics is going to help you in terms of getting it done, not only in terms of CIO, it should be the operational people as well. They need to understand their data much more faster. They should be able to take the decision much more faster, see the supply chain visibility, ensure like that the just-in-time inventory is maintained with the capabilities, with the capacities and everything. So when we started talking about the AI, Microsoft started introducing the Copilot. Obviously, a lot of people think Copilot is AI. Copilot is one form of AI, but that's not the complete form of AI that's coming into the transformative agentic experience that's coming, which we are discussing it today as part of that one. Obviously, the Copilot is going to help in terms of interacting with your data, querying everything as part of that one. But today, Microsoft is moving it forward in terms of providing us a framework for extending what it is there, or to create new set of applications which will help us to do the new decision making requirement for any businesses using an ERP. So today I'm going to discuss more or less in a detail about the F&O side, the Microsoft Dynamics side out of it. But in the overall session webinar, as we moving it forward, it's not limited to Dynamics alone. We will be able to extend the capability back into other ERPs and systems as well, where we will be able to build much more automation and capabilities as part of the thing is concerned. So obviously, the decisions, as per the Microsoft study, we will be able to say at least 50% of business decision will be taken by the agents. How the agents are going to take a decision, let us say like that, there is a change in POS come. When the change in POS come, the value required to be reflected across the business. but we doesn't know like that, okay, the operator has to enter it. Now the operator will be replaced for this particular functionality with an AI agent. The agent knows the database, the agent knows the business scenario, the agent will be able to validate the data coming through an email from a vendor. And from there, it should be able to propagate the changes back in the system based on the configuration or the content it analyzed or the AI capability it adopted over the period. So over the period, when I talk about the agents start with, let us say 80% intelligence, but once it started interacting with our business data, it will be able to study it more. From there, it will be able to evolve it further. So 2028 is not far where we will be able to say like that, okay, like that, we will be able to see in such a way like that, okay, the decisions will be autonomous by 2028 means another 2, 3 years, we will see at least 1/6 of the total decision inside a business operation is taken by the agent, AI agents. That means a lot of digital robots or digital workforce is coming into many ERPs, standard ERPs as well. But today, Amazon itself hosts more than 52% robots than humans into their entire business operational cycle. So every business requires such capabilities and capacity because the efficiency will increase. The digital robots will be able to take decision with much more detailed decisions based on the data and everything. That's going to help it much faster. Obviously, the workers are obviously using the AI in form of different AI agents or different AI tools, which it is there in market. People started using for different purposes, for learning or for decision making, writing emails, and everything which they have started using for research and everything. Obviously, they started feeling the AI help at least 82% of people agree like that the AI is going to help them in terms of getting it done. So
Hey,
the
Sajid.
CEO and
Sorry,
CFOs.
Sajid. Sajid, to interrupt you. Sorry, Sajid, to interrupt you. But some of the people are still not able to see the screen after rejoining. Maybe you have to reshare it again. I think Dilip is saying something. Whether uh, you have shared the deck as it is, or you have shared the screen. Probably you have to share the screen. Then it
I
will be
shared the
visible
deck as
to.
it is, so I'll stop sharing it and
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's okay, Sajid.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, now the CEO, CFOs and everything who will as well deploying different set of digital agent for their maintaining their task in such a way like that they decide like that they would like to get the entire visitor analytics from their website morning for them to take a decision as part of that one or the left card related details. Then all these details will be available in front of them when the morning when they reaches. I should be able to deploy an agent to collect this data from the different parties and take it in front of that. So the Microsoft Copilot Studio will be able to help you develop such kind of agents. It's not related with Microsoft data and platform alone, and I will be able to extend it across different data platforms wherever the data sits. But the particular Copilot or the particular language model will be run in Microsoft infrastructure from Azure. And from there, we will be able to completely build a very resilient, secured data structure, which is governed using the organizational policies and everything with high level of security and structure. So when we talk about the future of business, obviously the future of business will be built on agentic ERP. Obviously, we need an ERP. I'm not saying like that we should be able to eliminate ERP, but in our view, we should be at least using multiple ERPs, which is having different capabilities and strength. At the end of the day, we should collaborate it together using the Copilot Studio or different other tools, and from there we will be able to build the experience. When Microsoft StackPoint business application, when they talk with, they are coming out of the box with these capabilities, with a lot of these agentic capabilities, which it is started releasing. Obviously, 1020 capability, which is already onboarded, and that we will be able to or you will be able to learn more about, and you will be able to start using it when you get into the ecosystem as part of this one. So let us look into the evolution with AI with Microsoft itself within a shorter period of 2020 to 25. I'll be able to say when we started listening about Copilot, Microsoft now started talking about calling the FinOps business application along with the Copilot, along with additional with the multiple agents as well. So these are extensions of each of this one, which is complementing each other in terms of getting the business function done as part of that one. And the blue collar label and the white collar label, today we should be able to start seeing this lot of digital agents as well in going forward. That will be the digital labor, which is available for you to work 24 by 7 with no leave, nothing, but it should be able to start taking a lot of tasks. It's not all about this old this form-based transformation or things. It's more or less it should be able to leverage the data, the language model. It should be able to learn based on the new action. It should be able to now take decisions based on that one. That's what which we started talking about the autonomous ERP by saying like that. Okay, what is different from the old robotics or robopath based on customization or form customization or anything. It's not UiPath. It's obviously about understanding the data, read the email, take the decision based on that particular email, understand the content, download the attachment and read it, then everything collated together, then look into the business data, then come into a conclusion what I have to do for taking my decision to the next level as well.
Sajid, sorry to interrupt you again. It's still in the presenter mode. We can see the next slide as well, the captions as well. So can it be presented in the full mode, full screen mode?
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much.
Then now comes into that one. Okay, what Microsoft is ready with? Microsoft platform is connected. It's very cognitive in terms of steps. We have done a couple of webinar one time back by saying like that a single database and one universe. Microsoft when we talked about 2 years before. Now we will be able to see like that how that's going to get it leveraged in form of coming into this one. Now today in Microsoft ecosystem there is no two apps called CRM, ERP or the BI or anything. Microsoft today call it as a single biz apps called D365 platform where I have my Microsoft Dynamics 365, CRM, ERP, supply chain, finance, my HR, then probably related field service, customer service, then my contact center. All these biz apps data is coming into one place called Microsoft Dynamics 365. We call it as Dataverse. My entire data coming and sitting in Dataverse, I should be able to build my own agentic systems. My agentic system can sit on top of an CRM or sit on top of an ERP, or it can be a service as well to do it different set of decisions for or providing services to customers or end users or suppliers or my auditors or anybody who is looking for data. I should be able to supply the data using the agentic services as part of that one. So today my ecosystem, when you look into Microsoft Dynamics, you doesn't require to deploy any additional application. You only have to buy one of the application and services, and from there you should be able to start leveraging the entire capability, which is going to transform the business which you are doing today in many manner, in bank reconciliation, customer. Obviously, many business started taking incremental steps for doing their transformation in terms of AI. But obviously, when we move into Microsoft ecosystem, it's coming with a lot of out of those capabilities. But I'm not saying like that it's end, it's a beginning. So we should be able to see the transformation over the period of coming 2-3 years, which is going to flourish it, which where we will be able to see a large ecosystem. And the technology today, nobody will be able to predict or understand what's going to come next. But in terms of it, if we are not adopting it, we must be as a business will move into trouble. As like that, everybody will get into the pace of moving into the business. If we are not ready, then we will go behind the pace. So obviously, when we look into the people, these are the systems. These are the systems or BizApps people will be using. I'm only trying to explain it in a context of D365 BizApps. I have my sales, marketing, customer service, my commerce operation, my accounting, and everything which is available as part of me, along with my brick and mortar store. But my customers are connected. Then how the system is going to help me? It will be able to streamline my entire centricity across department. They should be able to interact it using the entire collaboration tool available inside the system called Team, which is connected with all BizApps. I should be able to take my business discussions taken on top of Teams. Then it will be able to continue the business discussion on top of the app as well. That's what Microsoft is calling about these things. Now the agentic process are going to bring more intelligence. I can ask a question from my teams into my finance and operation by saying like that, what is my risk in carrying one particular transaction? Based on the customer's payability and everything, he doesn't need to run through multiple reports or anything, but the agentic process will be able to read the data, take the data out, it will be able to assess it and provide me by saying like that, these are my KPIs, based on this, you take a decision out of it. As per me, my risk is very high for continuing the transaction. Based on the data XYZ, it will be able to show, then they will be able to take a decision. So this is where the agentic experience is going to come. It obviously previously available in form of dashboard reports and everything, but today it in more form of asking a person. As we do it in a chat GPT, we ask a question, but chat GPT is running around not my own data, it's running about the large model. But it's a combination of this large model along with my own data under the Microsoft framework with a strict security around your data. Then you should be able to gain much more experience, much more informed decisions, and much more insightful decisions in a much more faster manner. So unifying my data to build for AI innovation, consider my customer behavior inside my call center can be different. In my point of sale, when they come, they will be different. But end of the day, your entire data combined together, any customer walking into the store, you should be able to understand what is its total revenue contribution and what kind of compliance and cases exist for him and everything. Then you should be able to make much more interactive decision with them. The cash flow related, inventory logistics related, your projects on time, lead related qualities and everything, you should be able to discuss it. So in form of things, we should be able to see like that I'm getting an assistant which will be able to help me to take a decision initially, as we call Copilot. Now we call them agent. Now tomorrow we have to call them the digital workforce, which we are giving them the task for doing some sort of work. That's where which obviously which we are seeing there should be a good amount of transformation which is coming into market, and obviously and ERP is not enough. We have to take the next step from where we stopped in an ERP into the agentic experience as well. We have to adopt the agents because the agents are less priced and the agents will be able to have much more efficiency when it comes to repetitive, laborious or task. But it's not repetitive. It will be able to make the decision. That's where we started call it as autonomous ERPs by saying like that the digital agents will be able to take its own decision based on the business data and everything. So let us look into some set of steps which I am trying to say like that, okay, my supplier communication. When supplier sending an email by saying like that, I'd like to get my account statement. Today it's a person's job who just need to generate the statement, attach it and send to the customer, send to the supplier, then along with the reconciliation or related other details as well. So I can put up an agent there and the agent will be able to reply to the email sent by the supplier for anything. It's nothing related to a statement. Next time you will ask for something like that. What is my last two transaction? Next time the supplier communication can be entirely different. What happened to my last PO? Then or it can be by saying like that. Change the quantity from my last purchase order, which is submitted back from 5 pieces into 6 pieces. Then you say like that. Okay, quantity changes are approved within the control level, but if there is a value level change, then subject to that, it has to go for next level of approval as well. Now, this all done today by people. In tomorrow, excuse me. Tomorrow, we should be able to ask the autonomous agents to take such decisions based on the context, and we should be able to define the boundaries which it is required as part of that one. So previously, when we all thinking about this in 10 years before, we all thinking about like that it will take a lot of time for us to reach into this space. But today, when we're seeing it in front of us, we'll be able to see like that there are BizApps available for all these for account reconciliation, expense reconciliation, my order management, financial reconciliation, my project related activities, my account reconciliation, my sales order related confirmation, scheduling operation related stuffs and everything. When it comes, the agent is going to do the task on behalf of you, not on behalf of you. It's going to do the task for the as a separate set of workforce. That's what the agentic experience that Microsoft calling out. And today it's out, and we know like that it's very valuable in terms of a business operation aspect is concerned. That means we should be able to download a lot of such work which people you operate this people have to behind obviously is going to transform to work. It is it mitigate policies and stuff, everything. So every time like that, when I'm receiving, it's allowed to make it when my production is running. So we can ask the system, you put up a policy and tell like that, this is a policy for me. And the policy, when the AI agent is embedded into the policy, the agent will be able to understand like that, okay, whenever there is a context come, it will be able to take the decision according to the business policies. So the entire aspect of Microsoft Dynamics, when you look into, you should be able to see like that my concept to market, like that my product development cycle oscillates, the system you have solutions available, then decide to retire cycle, my forecast to plan, my hard to retire, accrue to dispose, source to pay, all this operational cycle which was available inside the ERP as in day one, it was evolved over a period, but these are the operational form, structure, data which already available. Now we will be able to increase the efficiency, the forecast efficiency, on time, if full like that, my improve inventory turns, my operating margin efficiency, my profitability efficiency, this everything can come in form of insights and people will be able to take decisions themselves, or you should be able to put up agents and from there they will be able to take decision their own. So what is the impact in terms of the agent on business process? I put up two slides to understand what is the impact. There's a source to pay. Unpredictable supplier risk and inefficient PO change management. That means a supplier based on I'm not doing enough supplier risk management. I doesn't know what is the capacity filling rate of the supplier when I place an order, how frequently which they have changed and fast like that. Okay, based on this one. When I create a PO itself, the agent look into the data. It will be able to understand the behavior of the supplier in terms of the entire supply chain. When I ordered 100, how many times he fulfilled 100? When I ordered 100, he fulfilled 100, he fulfilled on time, or you look at based on different scenarios. So based on the supplier's behavior, the agent will be able to take a decision by saying there is a risk in carrying, creating only a PO for this because I have a lot of sales orders and purchase orders to get fulfilled. Now system will be able to take much more informed decision than having in past in terms of taking a decision. What should be my order quantity for this vendor? When taking the decision, it's according a lot of facts. It's according the facts of my storage level, my min-max level, my capacity which it is running, and the supplier's behavior in terms of the past experience with the suppliers as well. So now proactively mitigate supplier risk and automate PO changes autonomously. Like that, it should be able to say like that instead of this particular supplier, I'm ordering 100 pieces. I'm ordering 80 from him, but I'm ordering another 20 from a much more reliable supplier because my fulfillment is much more important for me. So record to report as well. Okay, the system will help you to reconcile your data for closing your books and stuffs and everything much more faster. Like that, rather than deploying an accountant, I should be able to deploy an digital labor agent by saying like that, these are the steps which are supposed to be done in day one, day two, day three, or my 5 days of my closing cycle, which it is required to be done. Then the agent will do the job. When the finance manager is coming, you should be able to take a decision on using the data by saying like that, okay, I am having my entire data, all things are reconciled, balanced. Now I should be able to close my book for that particular month. Now you look into the way like that, this is going to impact everywhere in terms of operation. That's what which I am trying to emphasize the C level by saying like that. You have to increment the fashion of adopting the AI in a much more faster manner because there are a lot of opportunities, there are a lot of tools available and the capabilities in front of you. So operate profitability, reduction in time to generate forecast and planning. Obviously, There are many large use cases available with Microsoft in terms of putting up the use case for planning, how it's going to help the capacity planning for one of the largest pizza a manufacturer in this world, Domino's. They are using Dynamics for their entire master planning capacity, this one, and they made a 70% efficiency by doing it by adopting this AI agent for that one. So 40% saved on summarizing customer says info for collection. Let us say like that as a scenario, which I will say like that you are interacting with a account receivable team or a customer account receivable team is there. How many time you will be wasting in terms of writing emails by putting up the numbers, generating the statement and attaching it. You think in such a way like that, okay, I have an agent available. Its task is to send these details or the collection letters continuous follow back into this one in a much more different languages, different scenarios, everything. It will be able to take care of it. Like by saying like that, this particular customer, his preferred language is Chinese. The same agent will be able to write it in Chinese. It will be able to write it in English. It will be able to write it in Arabic or different languages as well in terms of writing the collection letters. So the collection letters in form of writing automation, which was there in past, but today it's introducing the capability to write it into multiple languages with multi-tier capabilities with different set of sentiments and related stress and everything, which I'll be able to include, and it will be able to take that particular decision back into action. So it's not ending with Microsoft capability, as I have told. We will be able to extend it beyond Microsoft Dynamics back into any ERP system. It can be SAP, Oracle, or a custom-based traditional ERP as well. You are not allowed, and Microsoft is providing you tool and capacity for you to increase that one. At least, obviously, if we bring over the period in the last coming 2 years, at least 50% efficiency more, that's going to build a lot of value add in terms of every business aspect is concerned. So if finance that scenario, which I have put in, then say like that, okay, record a report, I'll be able to say my automated AP process, automated credit assessment, my predictive cash flow, my automated reconciliation. Previously, we call it different, but today we are talking in form of automation, not only for one task, we are talking it across. Then accelerated period closing, customer automated tax calculation and filing, automated compliance with local regulation. So you can see how this language is getting changed in terms of a business operation and transformation is talking about. I doesn't need to worry for somebody is on leave or everything for me to close my books. I say like that all my account payable details are sent for approval to the CFO. Nobody is waiting for generating the documents, verifying it, uploading it, sending it, nothing. Then the agent will be able to do such task on behalf of you. Once you define your process, your policies, it will be able to take it forward from there. So my financial forecasting, my pricing, my quote optimization, my order fulfillment, my payment forecasting, related to all these details. Now, when you look into that one, it's going to change the way, obviously, which we are working today. And now Microsoft Dynamics Agentic ERPs is going to help every business to make it much more precise and accurate with less laborious process. So then operation as well. It's not in finance. Finance people will think like that. It's only over there. But we look into your time, real-time inventory visibility, your inventory across supply chain network, like that you have 100 stores. You need to see like that which store to keep what stock level in previously. First, you need to derive them in max level, then upload them in max level back in the system. Now, the agentic will be able to understand the data. It should be able to accurately predict the data, how much stock which it is required, and historical sales as well. It will look into it, say like that, okay, based on the past history, how much it's moving. It's very obviously to keep this much inventory. It doesn't require to order from a supplier. Instead of that, I should be able to replenish from my store near to that particular dock. Then I say like that instead of cross-docking it from my warehouse back into my store, I should be able to just do a stock transfer from my nearby store because I feel like that the stock available there, which may last for coming 6 months. Instead of that, if I move from there into another store, it should be able to sell it much more faster. So previously as well, we should be able to do this, but we have to do a lot of work. We have to build dashboards. Then the dashboards will not do the transaction. But today, the transaction as well will be done by the agentic XP agent. So it should be able to complete the transaction based on the data. It should be able to take the decision. That's where the autonomous ERP is going to come and make some changes when you come into the real world business app scenario aspect is concerned. So then my another scenario, I should be able to have my entire KPIs, my CSAT score, my customer satisfaction, what time is full satisfaction, how much time which I have done, my equipments are fully used, what is my risk in terms of any equipment which is getting damaged. All these details I'll be able to see like that. This is a domino scenario which I have mentioned. They have made an improvement in the inventory planning. They made an efficiency by 70% when they compare with their past as well. Because in this particular business, the customer preferences are changing, the inventory requirement and the large supply chain process, which everything, then the system has to think through all these scenarios and factors, then it has to take a decision how much to order now. Now, it may not be a challenge with a fashion store, but it can be a different challenge with a fast food restaurant change. It can be a different challenge with a manufacturing store. But obviously, the AI will be able to take it because the large language model available with Microsoft will obviously will help us to integrate with your own data, then with the language model, then should be able to take much more better decision as part of this one. So improving demand planning with Copilot, I'm putting an example there. I'm not sure whether you should be able to see it. You see like that, okay, now I'm seeing there are promotions are planned for this year, last year, sales grow by 12% is likely. Then I see like that, okay, I am going to, the system recommended forecast was 3028. Instead of that, I'm a business decision maker. I feel like that, okay, I just need to increase back into some little more in case of my requirement. Then I can pass the same information back into my team using collaboration with teams. Then I can take my decisions there with my team based on my data. Now you see like that. It's not only talking about the decision, it's also talking about enabling the communication and collaboration as well. Now you are much better enabled. I'm not saying like that you are getting replaced, but you are much better enabled in terms of taking a decision rather than looking into 100 sheets and taking a decision, then writing an email or taking a screenshot, collaborating. Now you can collaborate it inside a platform with your entire decision-making process aspect is concerned. So another example with the Copilot is like that, my financial reconciliation, when it should be able to provide a reconciliation report summary by saying like that, okay, the reconciliation process revealed that this particular invoice and process not fit to invoice list, but not in Fabrica invoice list. So you see like that there is a discrepancy in previously you are dependent on people to find it. Now we will be able to get it done much more faster using this particular Copilot available for this financial reconciliation aspect is concerned. Now, Microsoft itself is using the capability for the account receivable. Account receivable, you see the 1 minute win, which it is going to make in every transaction, or a 5 minute win, which you make it in every transaction for sending and writing an email, put up the right balances there, put up the details over there, and understand the sentiments of the customer. Accordingly, I have to ask them for payment as well. Now, previously, system was having a capability to write an email, but we need to take it along with my customers. I cannot write it in any tone with all my customers. Then I need to say, based on my customers classified A, my tone should be different. My classified B, my tone can be different. But this all can be done much, much faster today using AI capability. That's where it's going to add a value as part of this one. So this is one I say like that there is an agent available which recommend the confirmed purchase order changes. Like that any purchase order changes, now it will look into the low impact changes, it will look into the high impact changes. Now it will say like that the impacted downstream orders as well. Like that you say there are a lot of production orders which require the standard crossover for this one. Now system says this production line car audience set my standard costs are 46 spaces. I have a risk which is not available. Then what I have to do it over there. Now I have an agent. I am saying like that. I say replace standard crossover with my mid-range crossover. Now system says all the production line which doesn't have this particular raw material called standard crossover which is not available. Now those production line bomb will get updated with my mid-range crossover. So now seems like that the previously this all can be done, but now I have to travel through all the way through the entire transaction for me to take such changes. But now the Copilot or the agentic experience help me to make the changes in one place, and it should be able to propagate it, record, and I will get my insights as well as part of this one. Now, I would like to optimize my supply chain process with Copilot. When I say like that, Microsoft is having a Power Automate process mining tool which is available. Then I can ask my system, I can ask my process mining tool to look into where people are spending time, like that a account receivable clerk, what is doing in their morning to night. Now the system will be able to monitor the entire transaction which is doing, and from there it will be able to give an insight how we will be able to optimize it further. So obviously, when people working with different capacities, but you need a system which should be able to recommend like that. Okay, this particular process is taking a lot of time. So instead of 25 minutes, this purchase order approval taking 25 minutes. That means it's not the problem of the person who creating or picking it up, but generally what it is taking approval is the approval process taking a lot of time. Then by bottlenecks, when I identified purchase order item input away with network count of one, purchase order received at inbound. So it looked at the entire data and it summarized the key metrics. Now it say like that the approver is having a problem as part of this particular bottleneck is over there. Now I have to get up my process, how I will be able to optimize it as part of that one. From there, I'll be able to take my decision. So these all are tools are available from Microsoft in terms of getting business to optimize their process, take the decision much more faster and move faster on the AI capabilities or autonomous capabilities, whatever it is coming as part of this one. Then the demand planning as an example, which we will be able to see like that, okay. Demand planning as an example, predict demand using AI. It can be external data like my Excel, some data. Then my sales and operational planning, my forecast, I will be able to do it with much more confidence as part of this one. So you can select the model which is fit for you. There are many models that are available from system, but you should be able to select which forecasting model you would like to select, and based on that data, you should be able to commit forward. It's a time series based which I have shown. This is the sourcing example. Then the supplier communication agent, as well as I have told initially. This agent is going to help you the inbound emails for confirmation and changes, updating system autonomously. That means you doesn't need to wait for you to read the email, then make the changes in PO. Instead of that, based on our input into the agent, it should be able to get it done. So it should be able to follow up with the suppliers for pending purchase orders. Then procurement specialists work with the agent to navigate supply disruption to minimize and everything. So you know like that the low level work, whichever it is coming, I should be able to eliminate and make it much more autonomous, where my team should be able to focus on the other related activities, which is much more important for the business. So my downtime with the Copilot as well, it should be able to understand the machine's behavior, how much time it took, then the problems photo as well, it should be able to analyze as part of this one. Then it can get much more detail. You doesn't need an engineer to travel all the way. You should be able to sit at the head office, and from there you just start analyzing the problem, and from there it will give some input. What is the first level of issue? What is the next level of action taken which it is required? So now the agent, this one with a picture, it's created a work order and it's assigned to the person who is supposed to take an action as well. So the projects are obviously the project management, which is much more relevant. The new Copilot with the global availability standard, which you should be able to do my pricing, my modeling, everything as part of my project management, my project operational related activities. I should be able to do it much more faster as part of that one. Then the time and expense agents, I have the challenge with the expense management, like that I have 150 employees. Then obviously every month they will send my entire expenses. It should go through the approval workflow mechanism and everything. You look into the process. Now, once your autonomous agents are available for this one, and the agent will be able to classify the entire things, you should be able to reconcile. It can read the receipt, verify the data along with the entry which the consultant has made. From there, it should be able to take it forward from there with the approval workflow. It says like that everything is matched, which is visually aligned with the receipts, which is uploaded as well. It should be able to take a decision, go get it approved. So only the stuffs which is not getting aligned or which it is getting approved, then I should be able to move it back into this one. When I'm talking more about the different operational cycle, I should be able to connect it with the real world example with people by saying like that, this is where it is going to help. Because It's not about the robotic automation or anything. It's a new experience. It was not there in past, and that's where it's going to change the way how we look into the data, how we look into the operation, how we look into the application, and everything in future aspect is concerned. So there are a couple of this one like that. It should be able to write an email. I trust the message find you well with an account receivable manager, Northwind Trader, with everything with the balance letter details. You should be able to put up the details and everything. Then it how the entire customer interaction and everything. You should be able to keep and send an email, save the email and everything. Today we have to copy paste the data, then put it everything. Now this all will happen inside the BISAPs from one place. That's where it's coming as well. So the variance analysis as well, in finance aspect, you should be able to do it much more better. Account reconciliation agent is available. So the subledger reconciliation agent is available. I have many case studies as part of this one as well. Then you see like that, okay, little security. Yeah. Then another advantage when you move into the Microsoft is like that, okay, it's having the complete security and governance model built around the AI capabilities, because you are not buying something different. It's under your tenant and you have completely secured data as well. So how you will be able to, how TSC will be able to help you, your modernization is, you should be able to visit your business process, understand it, and wherever which you are lacking or wherever which you are looking for improvement, we will be able to do that. It's not only about replacing an ERP, it's about enhancing your existing ERP, or you can transform your entire process back into a new ERP as well. It's more or less it's applicable to both the process in the same way, but you have to adapt it much more faster. That's where which we will be able to help you, and we will be able to grow along with you as part of this one. So you have a right partnership. We have a very expert implementation team is available, and we have many ISVs, which is industry driven, is available with us, and we ensure there is a customer success, which it is there from there, which we will be able to take it forward along with that one. So my deployment, my tier one ERP, I can have a tier two ERP like that. Your core finance can sit into SAP or Oracle. Then you say like that your set of BISOPs, which you should like my store operation, my warehouse operation, my supply chain related operation, I should be able to migrate it as well. Then that aspect. For a new ERP implementation, it will be much shorter span of implementation. You should be able to get it done. But obviously, it doesn't mean like that you have to replace your ERP for moving into the next level of agentic experience. Obviously, no, we can coexist in both the places. It should be able to co-deliver the value for the customer. It can improve the experience and the performance as well as part of this one. So as I'm running short of time, I'm moving to my team, and they should be able to take it from there. And obviously, I will take all the questions which it is there. Please write it down, and we should be able to take it to the next session as part of this one. Obviously, the Q&A session, we will be able to answer it in a much more deeper manner. So thank you all. Over to
Sure.
my team member.
Sure. Thank you, Sajid. I think some few of them want to, they have raised their hand, they probably want to ask questions. We will be having a live question and answer session at the end of the session, at the end of the core presentation, we'll be having it. And then we will allow your, we'll unmute your mic and then you can ask your question. We can answer all the questions that you have. So, just in the interest of time, we are just going to run one more poll just to understand your awareness about Microsoft Copilot and your intent to explore it. So, Anjana, if you can please run the poll, that will be great. And then Mr. Venkatesh will take you through the rest of the presentation. Please put your responses on the poll. This will help us to reach out to you for any specific requirement of yours. Anything that you would like to explore across Copilot AI capabilities, we will reach out to you and then we can have a separate discussion around that as well. We have received 50 responses. I would request all of the currently 90 plus uh, attendees to respond to the poll. This would help us to reach out to you for your specific requirements or for specific sessions that you would want for your organizations. So out of the 50 responses, 30 more than 30% people are inclined to integrate Copilot's AI capabilities into their ERP system. Around 40% of them are casually exploring, and the rest of them are not looking it at the moment. So I'll invite Mr. Venkatesh for his part of his presentation. Mr. Venkatesh, you can present your screen. Sajid, you can unpresent it. You can stop sharing.
Let me know once you're able to see Anshul.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sajir, for the deep insights on the finance agents and multiple agents available across the ERP system. Now, what I'm going to give you an overview on the Copilot Studio and Copilot Studio capabilities I'll explain, and then how it can integrate with multiple sources, multiple ERP systems that I'm going to explain. So Copilot Studio is basically is a part of your M365 solution, and Microsoft has the Copilots across available in multiple applications. So now Copilot Studio is a tool which is a low code tool which you can use it by a prompt and create an agent on your own. So this is a one place where you can access everything, and this tool can automate your workflows, and this can integrate the data within your application and connect your data in Microsoft 365. The promise what Microsoft is giving is a privacy. Whatever the data you have and whatever the data it is getting trained to this Copilot is going to stay only with that bot itself. It is not going to train to the large language model of Microsoft. So that is the privacy model which Microsoft is operating and promising it on a solution for Copilot. So what is in Copilot Studio? So Copilot Studio has three things. One is Agent Building Studio, and it has multiple workspaces where you can create your own agent and tools, and all those agents are acrossly available for all your organizations place. And there is an Admin Studio where you can deploy it and where you can restrict certain access. For example, I have seen a customer where they have trained all their HR policies to a bot, which is an artificial intelligence AI, and that AI agent can have the roles of all the individuals, and each individual designation is already given. So when I ask a question and how much is a petrol allowance for the person, then it will automatically give you the certain line from the policy saying that because your designation is so and you are allowed for so and so amount. So this is how the Copilot Studio can work based on your user restrictions and user roles. So what are the Copilot Studio core capabilities? So it is having a intuitive UX which can have low code design and real time testing and easy collaboration. You don't need to have the prompts which you need to know, and because the Copilot Studio is capable of natural language to build. So when you want to build an agent, so you can type in as a chat and you can explain what you're looking for in the part of the agent, and the system will automatically cater to all the requirements and it will add all the relevant prompts and it will train that studio app itself. So the agent has that capability. So earlier if you wanted to build an agent, you need to do all the prompts and you need to give it and configure it. So that is where Copilot Studio is catering to your requirement, and it is just a conversation design because it is enabled with natural language. So and it can connect with multiple sources. It can we can define the agentic flows which is using a Power Automate, and all the data across multiple streams, may it be your SAP system or Oracle or whatever the other ERPs we are using. So all the legacy systems can be streamlined and the data can be built into one place, and the agent can be built on top of it, so that the data of the agent can be read across multiple application, and it can give you the right inputs based on the agent you have built. So Microsoft is coming with the base agents, which is already available, which Sajid has showcased. Apart from that, you can build on your own agents where you can use this uh, orchestration of conversation and variables logic you can define, and multiple LLMs can be trained, and dynamic content can be defined by each user. So this connectivity is available across, and it is extensible. So there is an option for bring your own model. You can customize your own bot, and all this is linked to the Azure model. So the Azure AI is capable. For example, today Microsoft is automatically integrated with the ChatGPT 5, which was released recently. So whenever there is a new agent or where new model is released, it is automatically integrated in the Azure AI, and when you build on top of it, so all the capabilities are available across the system. And this is a streamlined management, so all the responsibilities of AI is in check, and this is trusted platform, and it has an admin center, and how it is getting trained, and what standards, what compliances it is managing, everything is tracked, and what is the authentication level, and how the ALM is also being tracked. So now you see the agents are doing multiple things. I have seen recently, if you see there's a data deletion from the agent, which is having the policies restriction. That's why it has come up with this. Now when it comes to Copilot, so all the compliance standards and authentications are inbuilt, so you don't have to worry about all the process, which Microsoft is taking care of, end-to-end platform for the conversational AI. So there are certain agents which are already pre-built. Apart from Microsoft Dynamics and business application agents, so if you see in the Copilot Studio itself, you can see there is a safe travel agent, and leave management agent, financial insight agent, sustainable insight, and when it comes to building a bot, you can build your own bot which can be trained automatically with the idea coach, prompt coach, or your career coach, or learning coach, or your writing coach. So these agents are already pre-built. And there's a concept of autonomous agent. If you see on my right hand side, there's a supply chain agent getting created, and you can give the trigger, what trigger you wanted to build. Based on that particular trigger, the agent is automatically configured, and it is getting trained with the data, and it will give you the responses based on the triggers. So you can independently work based on automated triggers, and this automation takes long running process with your actions. It will dynamically reasons over capabilities over time, and it can adapt to your instructions and monitor. So these are already trained privacy models for human guardrails, and it asks for help. So this is one of the preview feature in Copilot Studio, deep reasoning in agents. So the makers and deep reasoning agent to the agent can specifically give agent instructions. What instructions you can see, and like OpenAI, O1 model to enterprise data to complete complex tasks, or you wanted to train it with a different model, and the agent can spend more time in thinking before responding, and it can get trained before how you wanted it to respond. So the step-by-step analysis with the organizational content is given. So the scenario is like you can create a RFP and the contract reviews of market analysis. So these are the data which it takes from multiple sources, and it will get trained, and when you ask the agent to give me a proposal, it can create based on the existing data. So this can read across all your ecosystem of M365, may it be your Outlook, may it be your PowerPoint, may it be your BizApp applications across. So all the data is getting trained, and when you ask a question, it gives you the input based on all the inputs what it is seeing in the system. And what are the popular features? So the rich responses are there in Copilot Studio. The adaptive cards, which you will take time to build, was already available. And the image processing, video processing, and quick replies are already available. And this is powered by PowerFX system, which is of a very low code concept, and you don't need to have the complete coding knowledge to build an application. The agent is directly available with just a prompt with a natural language, and this can list, record the type of support, and it is with the PowerFX formula. If you wanted to code on top of it, the PowerFX is the language which is used in the backend, and this can do a coding as well. If you see, the bug fixing is also done by AI agents today, and this is a event driven and contextual triggering, so that each event can detect a certain value, that means received, and it can do a better productivity. So the cut, copy, paste, and multi-node selection and enhanced topic navigation is available inbuilt. So this also has designing engaging responses. If you wanted the bot to create an image or a video and the agent is specifically built for that, that can also be done. So how it works is based on your power effects, and using JSON, it will create the adaptive cards. And the reply is very quick, and you can define how you want it. And the adaptive card is open card where you exchange the format. Like a developer, how you wanted to write a code and create an image, it will be able to ask you what you wanted in the backend and what you wanted to remove. Everything can be created in an agent, and the image is automatically generated. So this is the level of detailing in the Copilot Studio when we are seeing at the features. And you can also interact with the adaptive card, collect the information from users, and you can add a response for the adaptive card. Output can also be from the JSON card, and the same flexibility and configurable option is available across the question nodes. And you can do the coding side by side. So when it talks to the coding, so the information is available as a graphical user interface, and the code editor is also available in the Copilot Studio. So the editor will help you the ML language experience and inline edits in the agent. So in detail, if you wanted to take the trigger from where it has to come and how the configuration is required, these all can be transferred and can be configured in the Copilot Studio itself. So this is the most configurable agent where you are easily be able to start. So earlier, if you wanted to train an LLM, you need to create a lot of database and train the LLMs and then use it. So that part is already taken care. As a Copilot Studio, once you deploy it, it has the access restrictions and it has the data access. Once you configure that, you can build your own agent on your own. And what it can do a data manipulation also. For example, you wanted to automate the issues or errors to fix in certain systems. That can also be done through Copilot. So you can define the variables, what type of the variable and how to transform and modify it and change it. That can also be done through a conversation. And complex logics, we can use the PowerFX formula, and it is very capable of handling huge data and the data manipulation, the math calculation, sum, average, text formatting, concatenation, and numeric. All this is part of the PowerFX, which is similar to an Excel formula, and you don't need a huge technical background to write a formula in the PowerFX, which you can use it from day one. So basic Excel if formulas if you can use, so that is similar to that, and you can use the PowerFX formula and create the agent. Okay, so this can also be done with an agent event driven contextual triggering. So what you wanted to happen in a Power Automate, the same way the Copilot Studio can also be done. So but much advanced features, like how you wanted, when there is an email, you wanted to automate a message, or you wanted to automate a reply and send the message when the package arrives. These are the conditions you can give it the triggering, and based on the event triggering, the response is automated from the system. So this is the kind of detailing what you have in the Copilot Studio. And for the data and values, so you can also use variables for JSON and JSON schema. Agentic flows can automatically create the PowerFX code, and the Copilot Studio can use them. And when it comes to the architecture, how is it maintained in the Copilot Studio? So the anatomy of an agent is overview like this. So user will have an experience that is not mandatory, but there is an orchestrator, and it is trained with the knowledge, grounding, and memory, and all the skills and action triggers and workflows are being configured to the orchestrator, and autonomy, planning, expectations, self-learning, and these are the foundation models. And based on this configuration overview, the agent will be automatically deployed. And what is the Copilot stack? So Copilot, when it comes to on a overall, so we have multiple sources. One is Copilot Studio. What I'm talking about is part of Microsoft 365 Copilot and your agents. And Microsoft apps are the business applications which we are saying. And then there is a seamless integration which is done through AI orchestration, and your data, your restriction of privacy is maintained, which is on foundation models and AI toolchain and AI infrastructure. So this is the overall Microsoft cloud, and it is governed by AI safety and security. and how the Copilot stack is applied to Copilot Studio. So these experiences, when we see on the front end, it is through a web chat, Teams, or a Facebook experience, and that is from the Copilot. And the orchestration is done with the actions and dialogue execution. And the same way, this is a trusted SaaS platform. All the analytics, security, compliance, and ALM is taken care through Power Platform Azure infrastructure. And the data is flowing on the orchestration side to multiple sources using PowerFX code and code behind othering. So this way we can also integrate not necessarily an application from Microsoft, any application on any platform can be done. So may it be your on-cloud solution or on-prem solution, everything the copilots can take care and build agent for you. And the Copilot Studio overall architecture, so it will be linked governed by Microsoft Entra ID, and there are Azure services which will be work as a bot framework, and Azure is governed by OpenAI on Azure Search, and D365 and other contact centers like multiple business applications are linked, and this has the data prevention and loss policies, and it's a SaaS platform which is having multiple channels. All these applications you can see are the one Microsoft solution, and all they have inbuilt integration across the system. So this is all governed by Microsoft Dataverse, and it's an ALM and RBAC. For the reporting side, we have the Fabric, which is coming with Copilot capabilities as well. So Microsoft already has 1500 plus pre-built data connectors, which you can start using on day one. You don't need to build a connector for multiple sources. So that is the advantage of the Copilot Studio. So you can have the conversation tree and multiple agents deployed across the Dataverse environments. So you can train multiple LLMs as well. Each agent can have certain data access restriction, and each agent can also have a different conversation and different response. So how you wanted that can be defined. So each agent can have certain topics. Okay, certain agent wants to only certain training of data, and it will be more specific to your answer, and certain agents can be developed with multiple topics, so where you will have a common answer as a reply from coming from the agent. So these are the two ways you can build on Copilot Studio agents, and you can integrate all your enterprise architecture, because Microsoft has taken care of all the CRM ERP systems. Today what we are seeing, the business applications are already renamed as AI ERP, because Microsoft itself is giving all the AI agent features on the day one itself. You don't need to build much, but as we speak, Microsoft is also enhancing, bringing on more agents, and you also have a flexibility to build your own agents. So this is the natural language promise what Microsoft is promising on the Copilot Studio. You don't need to read the prompts, because there are a lot of prompts, and the way the models are understanding it is different. So now they have come up with a process called natural language understanding, where in detail you can type and AI can converse with you in your natural language. So standard natural language model is available. It is default out of the box, and it comes with the pre-trained and many predefined entities. The privacies are being configured, and everything is in place in the system. And the trigger phrases and custom entities for the data and synonyms, everything is already been trained. Okay, for example, from one region you call it a same word in a different way. Okay, that is already trained. So you ask in from different language and different questions, the AI will understand your language and give you the right answer. And this is also a custom Azure CLU model, and it supports all the languages across the globe, and you can add additional languages as well. And for the better intent and recognition, specific industry requirements are also being trained. So, and this can do a complex entity extraction as well, and entity extraction can leverage the Copilot Studio. And dynamic chasing, so using a GPT large language model, it can train multiple sources and can handle multiple intents. So automatically it can generate the missing inputs and ask you complex entities. And when you ask a question, and it can automatically give you a prompts, and it will ask you for relevant questions to give you more accurate answer. So in the interest of time, I'll quickly finish this Copilot Studio. The standard NLU model in Copilot Studio is, it will start with the bot, and it will wait for your input, and based on the query and its intent ranking, it will slot and what is the active dialogue and what response it should give you based on the fundamentals and authoring and things it will do it. So based on the training, so the Copilot Studio can also be trained to your own way how it wanted. So that agentic improvement will be automatically done based on the usage. And you can also train saying that what is the level of intent you wanted to answer and how the agent should behave. That also can be agentic improvements done on the Copilot Studio. So Copilot Studio can intelligently avoid repetitive conversations. For example, you have asked the same question twice and predefined choices. For example, what I have explained, the same word, trekking and hiking is same because these two words are synonyms. So the agent will automatically understand that these two words are same. So that part is already taken care and built in the Copilot Studio itself. And at each entity level it can define what is the pre-built entities like information like age, color, numbers and names. These all can be trained before on the entity level, and custom entities can also be built based on your requirement, and these can be added and the part of your entity recognition in the Copilot, and this will act when you work on responses for each question. So this is the Azure custom language understanding in the integration, and you can upload your data and it will have certain mapping with CLU intents, and it will have the new topics as well, and finally it will give you the agent. So with this I'll wrap up my part, and at the end we'll take up the Q&A. Over to you, Anshul.
Sure. Uh, so uh, I'll just hand it over to Mr. Dilip, who will be presenting a study that we have done for a large UAE conglomerate. Dilip, you there?
Yes, Anshul.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. You can start presenting your screen.
Yeah, I've started sharing.
Just for everybody's, just to let everybody know that we'll be having a live Q&A session, and all the questions that have been not answered will be answered in those in that particular session, and we will unmute all the people who have raised their hands to ask questions directly to our consultants as well. Thank you. Please, Dilip, continue.
Once again, thanks, Anshul. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to talk today about a recent study we conducted at a holding company and explain why a deep analysis phase is integral in the automation efforts explained so far by Mr. Sajir and Mr. Venkatesh. So this particular company in question, they had like double-digit legal entities across very varied domains, and they had multiple ERPs, even more CRMs, and a whole bunch of Excel files run by like about 200 plus team who were riding like the Outlook file size limits on an hourly basis. After spending months on end listening to their processes and problems, understanding their perspectives, needs, we came across several cases where users were repeating tasks that others already did, or they were asking IT to do simple tasks like bulk data edits or uploads. We identified situations like this and documented well over 2,000 individual daily requirements. We grouped them into about 100 process flows, roughly speaking, and we were able to automate half of them. Now, this across this 100 processes, we were able to do this in FNO specifically, this particular study. But like my colleagues have explained earlier, this is not specific to FNO. This can be done on any ERP as well. This kind of deep analysis. And talking about analysis, I mean, it's been a very lengthy task for us. But I'll just pick and choose a couple of scenarios or situations that we came across that would actually cement the reason why we need such kind of an in-deep analysis. So one day, part of all these efforts, we were trying to quantify how much time we would be saving in one of these 100 processes. and this was related to the commission calculation process. And we approached the head of the department who does this task or like concludes this task at the end of the month. And we asked him if he can spare like half an hour to understand the number of stakeholders involved and how long they take each of them, so that we can add up the numbers and analyze how much time we would be saving. But coincidentally, we approached him at the beginning of the month, so he himself was working on the commission data provided by his subordinates at the time. So he kindly asked us if he can schedule this to a later time, since he was like busy. And since we already studied the process, we were well aware of what's ahead of him. He had a lot of work to do, like compile all the data from all of these subordinates. He'll have to do random checks to make sure that the data doesn't suffer from any broken formulas or external references being broken or some even malicious intents, to be frank. So we decided to just move out of his way and let him carry on with his work. And we approached him the next day in the afternoon. And we were presented with a very sad and frustrated face. Poor guy did all the work the day prior and mailed the output to the payroll and left for home. But unfortunately for him, the file he sent was corrupted. He had to do his work once again overnight, and lightning strikes twice, and Excel crashed on him. And he wasn't 100% sure about the data he got from auto recovery, and he decided to do a fresh work the next day and somehow managed to complete everything because he decided to delay his lunch that day. And we caught him right after he sent the final mail and was about to go for lunch. So we already knew about these Excel corruptions, and all the IT department themselves have speculated that it's because they were using Excel SB files instead of the more resilient Excel XX files. Users didn't have a choice though, because they had to share these files across mail several times over, and they were already at the limit of Outlook attachment size. So XLSB saved them a couple of megabytes, which allowed them to do this. Sad to say, this was not an isolated incident either, and most people are not dedicated as this department head we dealt with here, and usually just decide to delay the deliverable. At the end of the day, we figure out that we'll be cutting down on the data errors nearly 100%, and calculation process would require no more double checking or random checks. This would mean they'll be doing the same work in less than half the time. So this is about 50% improvement we were able to bring in this particular process. But this is, like I said, not an isolated thing. And there was several areas where we saw this repetition of tasks. So here in this specific scenario, his subordinates had already compiled the data from system. And this again is a misnomer, because they could have very well pulled this data from the system. But unfortunately, the existing spread of ERPs, since they're dealing with multiple ERPs and unintegrated systems, they had to rely on an external reporting tool to pull all this data into a common pool and then calculate the commissions from there. Now, this again will be done on different levels by different team members, and then aggregated at different levels, and finally reaches the head of the department. So here he is forced to recheck a lot of this information, because then again these are Excel files we are talking about here, so they can be prone to all sorts of errors we are all aware of. So this kind of repetitive tasks is what an autonomous ERP can completely alleviate. Now, the study allowed us to see issues like this, and that's like I saw a question earlier in the chat asking why we need external help if we can build these on their own. So this kind of deep study is where we'll be bringing value to you. So we'll have to understand these processes at a bird's eye angle and figure out like which all areas need this kind of improvement or can have this kind of improvement. Another area where, like one such anecdote I can say, where we saw some, uh, some sort of duplication of work is in the pricing structure. So this company, this trading company, a different trading company within the same holding, under the same holding company, they had like a very complicated pricing structure in their existing ERP, and they were quite confused why such a convoluted, and we were quite confused why such a convoluted pricing structure is necessary for a trading company. It's nearly impossible to identify the price of any item unless you are well versed with all the ifs and buts. So a management level or an external party, it'll be very difficult for you to identify the price of one item. I'd say maybe the sales system and the person who sets the price, those are the only entities in the world who can identify the price of a specific item. And this salesmen were looking up Excel sheets to find out prices of the item, and or like adding items to the post to see what the output price would be. We were told by the current users that this is how the existing ERP works, and they were just like going with it. They were not ready to change directions though, because like all their reporting and logics were built on this convoluted structure in first place. We sat with the team maintaining the current ERP and hit with the fact that process was customized in the current ERP even. So a veteran among them even confirmed to this as that this process was there way before they implemented this specific ERP even. We didn't get a trace beyond that, but this is a common trend we see in companies where we are dealing with like decades of legacy, which means these religious processes and methods are entrenched into the day-to-day tasks of employees. And these processes probably start in the infancy of the company while they didn't have systems in place and got handed down from employee to employee until a day when finally a system is brought on board. The process is already ingrained though, but so we cannot just switch over from it in an easy manner. So even the reporting analysis, everything is entrenched in this particular convoluted process. So companies lose track of what that these ERPs, modern ERPs or modern systems are capable of dealing with almost all their scenarios, but in a more optimal, more efficient way. And most of them are not even open to the idea that they may be doing something wrong. And sometimes it's a lack of motivation as well, and sometimes it's a lack of visibility at the management level, at the decision maker level, to identify such processes and implement the changes. Right. Now, in other places, we were dealing with requirements of next gen modern businesses as well. For example, focusing on customer experience rivaling market leaders. So in these companies, we'll be generally facing questions of seamless connectivity between systems. How can two modern ERPs built on completely different technologies and philosophies talk to each other with minimal delays and errors? So there was a sales system that sends invoices to the current ERP in near real time, kind of. So this is done with staging tables in between, and all seemed fine theoretically, but users were having to do reconciliations every week, cross-checking all the invoices, credit notes, payment receipts, refunds, and the master data as well. So data flow was fine, but the reliability was in question. This intermediate table was being written to and read by both parties, and flags were used to mark when the other party was completed their operations or not. The perennial sock on the doorknob situation. It was good enough a design on paper, but for the volume of data they were dealing with, failures were frequent, and there was no urgency in place for the failures to be attended to. So transactions complete in the sales system, regardless of whether it got updated in the ERP or not. Salesmen were not aware of the failures other than when the ERP users let them know. So at that point, they might as well do away with the integration and just manually import data. At least they can be sure that everything is synced in one go. So integrations like these were giving users more work than making their lives easier. Upper management was oblivious to the amount of work sunk in instances like this, and users underneath were struggling to keep up with the increased workload every day. Analysis like we did there brought several of these instances of, like, we call it effort black holes into a light, and without the kind of bird's eye view we got in the organization, this would not have been possible. Sometimes a big picture shows you the kings in your armor that are not apparent up close. So hope this answers the question of why or what uh, would be the value a team like ours will be, like an experienced team like ours will be able to bring to the table. I would like to hand over the reins back to my team so they can take over from here and maybe answer some questions in the Q&A session upcoming. Anshul?
Sure. Thank you, Dilip. Thank you so much. Anjana, can you just run our last poll? We are just running one poll. If you want a separate discussion with us, you can just respond to that poll and we will reach out to you. Uh, Meanwhile, we can open up the session for question and answers. We have two people who have raised their hands. Let me just allow your mic, and then you can unmute yourself. Mr. Mohammed Khalif, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Mr. Khalif, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. I think probably. All right, so let's do one thing. If you have any question, please raise your hand. I will allow your mic and then you can unmute it and ask your question. Meanwhile, we have some unanswered question. I'm just presenting my screen so that uh, it is reflected in front of us and our team can answer it. All right. So there are some of the unanswered questions. One question is from Mr. Amitava Saha. Uh, Venkatesh, Sajir, you are able to see the screen. Dilip.
Yes, Anshul, I have just pasted the answer in the chat
Okay,
itself.
you have. Okay, all right. All right, so you have answered, I think, almost all of them. So no need to answer it again. We have one more hand up from Adane. Adine, would you like to ask a question? You are on hold at the moment. I have allowed your mic. You can unmute yourself and ask the question if you can hear us. If you would like to have a separate session to have any discussion around Dynamics 365 Copilot or any other requirement that you might have, you can just respond to that poll. Mr. Khalif, your mic has been allowed. You can unmute yourself and ask your question if you have any.
Hear me?
Yes, Mr. Khalif, we can hear you.
Basically, if you have any case study of cross system, because whatever I'm saying is Microsoft 365, like because we are using Oracle, and the moment when we are trying to automate anything, we are using bots. But of course, we would like to explore this AI agent option. So any case study that you have done through Oracle system?
Sajid, would you like to answer this, Venkatesh?
Yeah. See, we as when we as demonstrated the Copilot Studio, it's not limited with any system, which obviously will be able to have many connectors available for all standard globally available systems as well, which you will be able to use it. We have done it as everybody has to understand. It's a new tech which is started getting evolved as well. We have to check with Microsoft if their new Oracle case studies are available, which we will bring back to you, obviously by answering. But in a technology stack standpoint, it should be able to integrate with any system and you should be able to build an agent as well. So agent is not limited only to Dynamics as Microsoft keep on building on top of Dynamics. That's where we were able to present the agent. We even building agent for a customer who are a large shipping operation things. They have a lot of maps and related selling. We are building an agent for them, which is connected with CRM and their Dynamics 365 ERP. But today, that's the data is sitting in different silos of application, which you have to bring it as part of this one.
All right,
So
if
to
anybody, yeah, Mr. Khalif, you're asking something?
No, I say thank you, but it's just that it's better if I have a presented solution of a case study.
yeah, I can bring you case studies for you.
Sure. If anyone has any question, please raise your hand. There are still 15 minutes left for this webinar to end. So if you have any question, please raise your hand or type it in the chat box so that our consultants can answer that. And if you want a separate session with us, with our consultant around Dynamics, Copilot, or any other requirement related to any of the Microsoft technologies, please do respond to the poll. We'll wait for a couple of minutes more. If we do not have any questions, then we will wind up the session.
One question I know maybe sounds silly, but when you're talking about agents, right? When you're talking the agent and you're coding the agent in your window application, uh, is it possible for the agent itself to open various applications like open Oracle, open Excel, open all these like as if they are behaving like a personnel? Are we talking that it's possible for them to do that?
Yeah. Venkatesh, what's your view on this?
Like for me, I'm just speaking my mind. Like for me, if
I got
this
it. I got it.
agent,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah.
need to you need to consider it not in such a way like that. It obviously will be able to interact with the multiple application. It can, let us say, an Excel. You want to get some data for a customer inquiry is coming. You want to put the data back into an Excel. I'm putting an example. So in an email, when I am getting my email is coming in compliance, like that, I'm getting so many emails into that one. I'm saying like that system has to identify the emails coming from external vendors. Then the external vendor email, I have to read the email and say like that whenever there is an sentimental by saying like that this particular email look like compliant, then log a details back into an Excel sheet. This is probably an agentic experience job which I am trying to build it. So I'll be able to code it by saying, I say like that, okay, this particular agent has to read the details from this email. So the email as a connector is available. I just connected with that one. Now the agent knows how to read that email. Once it gets the data, it should be able to transform that back. And from that data, I'm asking the agent to get a one-page summary. I'm only giving an instruction by saying get a two-line summary from this email. Then the two-line summary from that email will go back into my Excel as an inserted record. So whenever any email comes, the agentic AI will look into what kind of emails are coming. If it's a supplier complaint related, it will update it in the Excel sheet with that one. This is an example which I am putting it.
Okay, thank you. It clears.
Hope I answered, or you are still confused.
No, it's okay. I will ask deeper questions one on one.
Yeah. Shafira is raising her hand. Is she have any questions or she's not? Can you unmute?
Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you. Just a quick one. I think this similarly, not very clear on how the agent would work. So what we have now, we have a set of reporting, okay, that comes from Azure, so through Power BI. Okay. And then from there, we want to have more analytic, more sort of intelligent to that report. So it's already gathering sources, okay, information from different sources comes to Power BI. So we have set of data. So from this data, we want to see how, we can apply this agent sort of, like to predict, to do a a further analytic, if you like? Is it something that can be achieved through agent?
Yeah. When you look into that capability, when you talk about a lot set of data and everything, Microsoft is having a capacity called Fabric. It's not Power BI. Power BI is a presentation layer, and Fabric is the entire layer for such a thing. So I should be able to bring my entire data into Fabric, and Fabric is having this language models available, which is already connected with that one. So you should be able to start asking
So,
questions by
sorry,
saying
Sergio,
like,
what? Sorry, Sergio, what is Fabric?
it's a Microsoft ecosystem for data analytics.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So Fabric contains many components like that. It can have a data storage component. You can bring your entire data from different data sources. Let's say it can be from an ERP, it can be from a CRM, it can be from external sources like my Excel sources or anything. So I bring my entire data back over there. Then it should have a capacity to build the data warehouse. Once the data warehouse is built in, then inside the data warehouse, you can ask the questions. Get me a report for my past 3 year comparing my sales and what is the futuristic look out of it. So you can have a NLP natural level processor with that one. That not it's already a built-in capability available with an app. You doesn't need to do any coding. You only need to bring the data and lay it out.
So you're saying that on top of the platform, data platform that we have, we should have another sort of data warehouse.
Yeah, you should have a data warehouse inside the Fabric platform, and based on your capacity, your volume, and everything, you should be able to determine the size. Once you have the proper capacities available, then you doesn't need to do any coding. It's out of those capability available with the capacity, and from there you should be able to have this analytics and related experience from there. Otherwise, then you say like that, okay, I need to build a agent for that one, then we should be able to build it. The capacity
Okay.
of that model, that particular agent is like that, it's already accommodated all the such scenarios already.
Okay, so you're saying it's not built on the actual Power BI report. It's actually something that have
See,
to go
Power
to the,
BI, yeah, Power BI, when you look into it's already a product from Microsoft. Power BI is a presentation layer. So it's your dashboard, your paginated
yeah,
reports
yeah.
and everything. Yeah, it's not about analytics or this deeper things or anything. It's having little NLP processing capacity is there.
So you're saying it's not sufficient for that. So you need to have a data warehouse where all the source coming, and then from there the agent can work on the data.
Correct. What kind of data you have? It's in a capacity of GBs, TBs, or more than that?
Yeah, yeah. So we have sort of cash and all the debt that we have. So, so commitment or the balances. So this is something that Treasury want to forecast, like cash
Okay.
forecasting, that sort of analytic that they wanted
We
to.
we uh, we we look at your problem and suggest you the right product. There is a forecasting solution available from Microsoft. If that works, then you doesn't need to do a lot of this one. Then we will be able to suggest like that. Okay, the financial forecasting solution is more than enough for that one. It will be able to read the data from different system, get it into one place, and it
Mm,
provide you a graphical visualization by saying like that. This is my forecast. This is my actual compared to the forecast. How much accurate it is.
yeah.
Yeah, we
So
can we
yeah,
can we
I
can
like to
recommend
have,
you.
yeah,
Yeah, what is
have
the
a look
best suit
further
for
on
you
that.
or not?
Okay,
Sorry, I just
thank
want
you.
to add. I mean, like based on Shafira's comments, like I mean, most organizations already have this Power BI and other applications. Like, so I think what you're saying is you need like something sort of like an integrator so that these agents can work to read the data. Am I right to say that?
Correct. This Power BI is a presentation layer. It's like Excel. It's nothing beyond that. Power BI is something like Excel where you use for your data presentation. You have graphs and charts and related stuffs and everything, and it's having little this power related commands are available over there. But once it started building your data over 10 GB size, 20 GB size, 30 GB size, then that's not enough. You have to go beyond that solution for getting your things done. So certain capacity, Power BI will work its own, but that's what we need to understand the data, then provide you the right recommended solution.
And just to add to that point, so there are certain Copilot capabilities which were given on Fabric as well. Like you wanted to chat with the data, ask a question, and get the report. That is all the new features which are added on top of the Fabric. And it can also summarize your reports, and the complex DAX expressions can be written by Copilot. And the visuals can also be created on the fly with Copilot.
Yeah, that's
So
the
these
kind
are the
of
new features which we are seeing on Microsoft Fabric. Sorry to interrupt.
All right. I think nobody has any other questions, so it's only 5 minutes left for the meeting. Uh, if anyone has any questions, we can still wait for a minute or so. Otherwise, we can wind up. We still have more than 50 people in the meeting right now. There is one question from Mr. Anas. Many ERP systems today run on cloud-based databases. How does the Copilot agent connect to such systems? Would integration require direct involvement or support from the ERP vendor?
Most of the traditional and famous systems like Oracle, SAP, or Infor, all these things, Microsoft is coming out of the box with the connector. But obviously, if there is an ERP which is a custom developed, then it requires on fashion. But then we have to see the data. We need to tell the agent this is how the data looks. This is the tables. This particular data is available. These are all which we have to see. Otherwise, we have to give entire access to the database for the agent for it to crawl it and say like that how it works. So these all you all need to understand. There is no magic out of it, but obviously, the data model is the magic, but related other activities in terms of building an app or these things which require to be done.
Hope that
So,
answers
are
your
we
question,
winding up the
Mr. Anas.
session?
Yes, I think we have no more questions, Sajir. So, thank you so much, guys, for joining in. For the people who have asked us to reach out to them, we will be reaching out to you as soon as possible. We will be sending you emails. So please keep a look at in your inbox, and the people whom we have the contact details, we will reach out to you via phone as well. Thank you so much for joining in. We still have 50 more people, 50 more than 50 people in the meeting. Almost, I could have seen almost around 150 people would have joined in this webinar session, making it very successful. I hope it is quite insightful for you. You would have learned new things about Microsoft Copilot and how you can apply it to your ERP solution systems as well. In case if you have any questions, any feedback for us, any particular topic that you are interested in, please reach out to us on the email provided in the chat box. Uh, I'm just providing the email to all of you. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. We are going to come up with more sessions in the future. We have a plan of having at least 3 to 4 more webinars in the rest of the year. So your details have been registered with us. We are going to send you invites once we are ready with those webinars. So please do register for our upcoming webinars. We would love to educate, answer your questions, and take up your specific requirements around Microsoft technologies. Thank you so much, Sajid. Thank you so much, Venkatesh. Thank you, Dilip, and thank you, Anjana and Anirin, for being a support. Thank you, Nanda, for being a support as well in the webinar. Uh, we'll meet soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for your time.
Thank you.